Hi everyone, Jess here from Plant Powered Yoga. Today we're going to go through a short 15-minute sequence opening some of the big muscles in our body that will help free up and get some movement back in if we're feeling a little stuck, if we've been desk bound or just haven't done a lot of movement. And this short sequence will help just really free everything up and just get into some nice juicy spots. So we'll start sitting on with a cross-legged and just closing down the eyes, taking a deep breath in, exhaling it out. One more inhale, exhaling it out. Inhaling, lift your arms to the sky. Exhale, taking a twist, taking the left hand on top of the right knee and your right hand behind you. Really starting out with a nice beautiful spinal twist. Inhaling back up to center. Exhaling, taking your right hand on top of your left knee and twisting towards the other side. Inhaling back up. Exhale, leaning over towards the right side, really pressing in with your hand, stretching over, keeping both sit bones on the ground. Inhaling back up, exhaling over to the left side, really pushing into that left hand and stretching out through that right side. Inhaling back up. And we'll come onto our knees and just sitting here for a moment. Then inhaling, lifting up, raising up, taking out your left foot nice and straight and really pressing into the outer edge of that left foot and bringing that hand down. So your right hand is pressing into the ground and your left hand is really reaching over, just like we did sitting down. And you should feel a beautiful, nice stretch along the whole side of the left body. Inhaling, using your core strength, lifting all the way up, and exhaling, leaning over for gate pose. Inhaling, coming back to center, bringing that left knee in, taking out the right leg, pressing into the outer edge of the right foot, and then taking the left hand down to the mat and really reaching over. Should feel the stretch coming all the way from that outer edge of the foot all the way up to your fingertips. Really reaching. Inhaling, coming back to center using that core strength and leaning over to the right side, looking up for gate pose. Inhaling back to center, bringing those knees down, coming into a tabletop, spreading the fingers wide on the mat. The knees are under the hips, the wrists are in line with the shoulders. Inhaling your right knee into your nose, exhaling, kick it out behind you. And if you can, lift your left hand off the floor, bending at the knee on the right knee, and taking hold of that right foot with your left hand for a nice twist and stretch into that front quad. Inhaling, straighten back out. Exhaling down to the ground, lowering down. Readjusting on your mat, evening out. Inhaling, that left knee into the nose. Exhaling, kick it out. Looking up, bending at the knee, taking that right hand around, grabbing hold of that left foot and really pressing in, feeling a nice stretch in the quad and a beautiful spinal twist, keeping our spine nice and healthy. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, lowering down, coming into your child's pose. Inhale, looking up between your hands, tucking your toes under, pushing up into your down dog. Maybe walking out the dog, stretching out those hamstrings. Our heels don't have to be on the ground in down dog. If you do have tight hamstrings, while we're working on stretching them out, take a slight bend in your knees and really push up with your hip bones. Spread those fingers wide on the mat and really push away the ground with your hand. Taking a deep breath in and exhale, side out. Inhaling, lift the right leg to the sky, straightening out. Exhale, opening up that hip. So as if you're trying to kick your left butt with your right foot, getting a nice stretch into that quad, into that hip flexor. Bringing it back to straight. Exhaling, bring it all the way in between your hands, lowering that left knee to the ground. Really pushing in through that front foot. Inhaling, lift all the way up. Really tucking in through the tail and really switching on that core. You don't want to lean into this too much. So keeping nice and strong in that front quad. You should feel this in your left hip flexor. Keeping your arms up. Inhaling. Exhaling, straightening that front leg, bringing your hands down. Staying here for a breath. Exhaling. Inhale, coming back up to low lunge. Exhaling for half splits. And we'll do this a couple more times. Inhaling up and exhaling back. Seeing if you can go a little deeper each time. Exhale back. And one more time, reaching up. Bringing those hands down, keeping the left hand planted on the ground, twisting open to the right. Exhaling that hand back down, tucking the toes on the back foot, and trying to sweep that foot as silently as you can, all the way back to down dog. Inhaling straight away the left leg to the sky. Exhaling, open that hip. Trying to kick your right butt with your left heel. Inhaling, straighten that leg. Exhale, bring it all the way in between your hands. Lowering down that right leg. Pressing into that front foot. Inhaling the arms up. Again, really here, switching on the core. Keeping that tail nice and tucked. Not leaning into that leg too much. Really switching on that quad and really feeling it in that right hip flexor. The arms are up. Inhaling here. Exhaling, hands come down, straightening that front leg. Taking a breath here. Inhaling, coming back up to low lunge. Exhaling, coming down, half splits. Again, a couple more times, creating more space. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling out once more. Exhaling, bring those hands down, planting the right hand. Opening up, twisting to the left. Exhaling down. Tucking the toes on the back foot. Pressing back, down dog. Straight away, inhale the right leg to the sky. Exhaling, opening into the hip. Inhaling to straighten. And exhale, bring that foot in between your hands. This time keeping the left leg knee off the floor. Really pressing into that front foot, strong through the legs, really scissoring them together. Inhaling your arms all the way up, keeping your balance for high crescent lunge. Breathing here. Inhale, create some space. Exhaling, sink a little deeper. Inhale once more. Exhaling, bring the hands down, straightening that front foot for pyramid pose. You might need to shorten your stance a tiny bit on the back. If you need to stay up on your fingertips, that's okay, but just sink as low as you can. Trying to get your lips to kiss your shin. Taking a bend back into that front knee, walking back that back foot if you needed to. Inhale, coming back up, high crescent lunge. Exhale, bringing those hands down, picking up that front foot and taking it all the way back to down dog. And one more side, inhaling that left leg up, opening up the hip. Inhaling to straighten. Exhaling, bring that foot in between your hands, really scissoring the legs together, up on the toes on the back foot. Inhaling, lift all the way up to high crescent lunge. Breathing here. The core is switched on. You can have a slight bend in that back knee. Inhaling here. Exhaling, bringing the hands down, straightening that front leg, maybe shortening the stance again. This side might be different to the right side. Maybe standing up on your fingertips or really sinking down. On your next inhale, bending into that front knee. Maybe taking the toes back a little further. Inhaling up once more to high crescent lunge. Exhaling, bring those hands down, tuck the toes, push back to down dog, and then come into a well-deserved child's pose. Inhale, looking up, walking your hands back towards your knees. And we'll bring our legs out nice and wide as we can. Our legs don't need to be in an enormous split for this. Keeping the toes nice and flexed and feeling nice and high up on your sit bones. Reaching the arms up. Exhale, bringing your right arm and your elbow down towards your right knee. And see if you can catch a hold of your big toe. Looking up towards your left hand, keeping it nice and straight. Both toes are switched on. And you might stay here, or you might try and reach over with that left hand, grabbing a hold of the big toe. Raising that left hand back up, coming back up to center, taking that left arm down, the elbow on the ground, catching hold of the big toe, raising the right arm to the sky. And you might stay here, or you might bring that right arm over and catching hold, keeping that chest nice and open, feeling a beautiful stretch in the side body. Inhale, coming back up. And being careful with our knees, so placing your hands underneath our knees on the bottom and just picking our legs up, protecting our knees, bringing the legs out straight in front of us. Getting comfortable on our sit bones, bringing our fingertips beside us, sitting nice and straight, activating the legs, flexing the toes. Inhaling your arms up, exhale, leaning forward and grabbing a hold wherever is comfortable. For you, that might be in front of your toes. For you, it might be your knees. Wherever sits comfortable for you, just don't try and reach more forward than what you should. So for me, grabbing hold of my ankles is a really comfortable spot. That I can feel a nice stretch in my hamstrings without putting out my back. And we'll stay here for a few breaths to really create some space. With each inhale, expand. And with each exhale, see if you can sink a little bit lower. Inhale, walking your hands all the way back up. Taking your hands behind you, about a palm print behind your lower back. And you can bring your knees to face the ceiling. On your next inhale, pushing up through the hands and the feet for a reverse plank. Inhale. Exhale, lowering down. And we'll do this one more time. You can do that just the way we did, or you can bring your feet out nice and straight. Inhaling. Exhale, pushing up, stretching out those hip flexors after a forward fold. And exhale, coming all the way back down. Lying back onto your mat. Keeping the legs out straight. Taking a breath here. Bringing your arms out to a T shape. Bringing your knees into your chest. And just rolling the hips. And rolling the knees over to the left side of the room, looking towards your right fingertips. Inhaling back up. Exhaling, take your knees over to the right side of the room, looking towards your left fingertips. Inhaling back to center, bringing your hands down beside the mat, your feet out nice and long, relaxing in your Shavasana. And stay here for about 10 to 15 breaths. And bring this energized feeling into the rest of your day.